Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel Mrs. Biology with Hinal. In this video we are going to discuss about transmission of nerve impulses. So first of all we'll discuss about the resting membrane potential, and then later on we'll move towards the action potential. So let's start. So like each cell in human body, it is wrapped in a membrane, right, which separates the inner environment from the outer environment. That is, there will be positively charged, negatively charged ions which are unequally distributed on both of the side of the membrane, because the cell membrane being permeable. Like if we talk about simply, we'll just place solutes into a solution when where there is no physical barrier, that is where there is no cell membranes. They will evenly distributed by the process known as diffusion. But when the cell membranes comes in picture, there is unequal distribution of the charges. And this unequal distribution of ion is mainly because of the permeability. All the ions have different permeability through the cell membrane, and because of that there is a resting membrane potential developed. So generally speaking, on the outer side of the neuron there is more number of sodium, chloride and calcium, and inside of the cell membrane there are more of the potassium and negatively charged anions, which are generally made up of amino acids, proteins and also some of the phosphates. So because of that charge distribution, it generally makes outside of the membrane positive and inside of the membrane negative. That is, outer side there are more number of sodium and inside there are more number of anions that are negatively charged, which will generally create a resting membrane potential. So like when in the resting axon the electrodes are placed, it is measured like how it is shown in the picture, that electrodes are placed and the voltage is measured. So in the resting membrane potential, generally the voltage is around minus 70 millivolts. That is, inside it is minus 70 millivolts. So that means we can also say that inside it is more negative than outside. So let's discuss how this minus 70 millivolts is obtained, or what are the factors which maintains minus 70 millivolts, because this voltage is quite important for the resting membrane potential to be maintained. Okay, so quickly just a recap: resting membrane potential is what? Voltage difference across a cell, that is across over here in the neuron cell when they are at rest, and it exists in all the nerve cells, which is around minus 70 millivolts. And if there is if this neuron is at rest, then only this neuron will get stimulated for the signal. So it is very important for minus 70 millivolts to be maintained. So let's discuss what are the factors that affect the resting membrane potential. So here it's a cell membrane of the neuron, that is, if this is a neuron, okay, we are zooming in this scenario right here when the neuron is at rest. Okay, so this part has been zoomed in up. So this blue ones which are observed, they are the carrier proteins which are embedded on the cell membrane of the nerve cell. They are known as sodium potassium ATPase pump. And the red ones over here which are embedded on this cell membrane, it is leaky potassium channels. Let's first start up with the sodium potassium ATPase pump, that what they do. So the main role of sodium potassium ATPase pump is to allow 3Na plus to move out of the cell, and in return it will allow 2K plus to enter inside the cell. and this is against the concentration gradient, so they use ATP. Therefore they are known as sodium potassium ATPase pump. Okay, so what they do is they allow 3Na plus to move out and 2K plus to enter inside the membrane. Okay, so suppose we have started with the 0 millivolts. Initially it was no difference across the cell membrane. As soon as sodium potassium ATPase pump has been activated, it has allowed 3Na plus to move out and 2K plus inside. So that means 3 positive ions has moved out, and in return only 2 has came inside it. Still one gap is there. Okay, one positive ion is not there. So that means inside you have less positive ions in comparison to outside. That means it is making inside slightly negative, say -5 millivolts. Okay, it's not making the cell inside the cell membrane significantly negative, but yes, it is contributing. That's the one function of the sodium potassium ATPase pump. There is second function of sodium potassium ATPase pump is these pumps, they establish a concentration gradient for sodium and potassium. That is, it increases the concentration of sodium outside, because it is allowing 3Na plus to move outside, and inside it is making less concentrated solution for sodium. And on the other hand, if we talk about K plus, then what is happening with the K plus? K plus is more inside. Yeah, K plus concentration is more inside, and outside it is less. This concentration gradient will later on help in the action potential. So remember, ATPase pump has two main functions. First of all, it makes inside the membrane negative, that is, it helps. And second one is it is maintaining concentration gradient for sodium and potassium, which later on will be helpful in the action potential. Okay, great. So now there is the other factor which is making inside more negative, that are leaky potassium channels. So let's discuss about that. So these channels, they do what? They allows potassium ions to move out of the cell passively. That is, facilitated diffusion is taking place because inside it is already more concentration of potassium. So potassium will move from high to low concentration. Okay, and generally it is observed that K plus will be having a pair with the anions which are present inside the cell membrane. And remember, anions are made up of what? Proteins, amino acids, and phosphates. Okay, now you will think that why these proteins are also not living? Because they are very large. They cannot move out of these channels. So as potassium is leaving outside, it is keeping behind anions. So all the anions are left behind, which is making inside more negative. So now from the -5 millivolts, it is -70 millivolts. And also one key fact to remember is neurons, they are many more times permeable to K plus ions. So K plus ions will diffuse very fastly and rapidly outside the membrane, so making inside more negative, that is anions, which are negatively charged proteins, and phosphates, they will be inside the membrane, and from -5 millivolts you will have -70 millivolts. Now there are sodium leaky channels also present on the cell membrane, but since neurons, they are more permeable to K plus, that is potassium ions, there won't be that significant effect of sodium. leaky channels. And sometimes there are scenarios that leaky sodium channels are closed because they are sensitive to voltage, so they won't be open all the time. Okay, in some books they will tell you that sodium channels are quite closed. Okay, so but the K plus, they are quite more permeable. So if I want to write down K plus with respect to permeability, they are many more times permeable than Na plus. So if thousands of K plus are moving, so of course they have the significant effect. And if the leaky channels are open for Na plus, maybe 2 or 3 will enter, which will not make any difference, right? So majorly two factors are responsible for resting membrane potential: sodium potassium ATPase pump and leaky channels for potassium, because neurons, they are more permeable to potassium. The diffusion rate will be higher for the potassium with respect to sodium. So this is what the resting membrane potential is. Inside it is minus 70 millivolts.